I came back to warn you that Donald Trump's devotion and financial dependence on Vladimir Putin poses dangers beyond your imaginations. He's already emulated Putin's corrupt self-enrichment by tailoring foreign policy against bipartisan objections to enrich himself. Every other president, going back to George Washington, fully separated themselves from their business interests. Not Trump. He entered office with interests in at least 500 international businesses, while negotiating agreements with foreign governments that could benefit or harm them. 20 foreign governments, including China and Saudi Arabia, paid millions to Trump's businesses when he was president. He lifted Congress's bipartisan ban on selling parts to ZTE for spying, and China awarded Ivanka 7 trademarks and loaned $500 million to an Indonesian resort featuring Trump-branded properties. He violated another bipartisan ban by selling $8.5 billion of weapons to Saudi Arabia and refused to punish Saudi Arabia for murdering an American journalist, all because, as he bragged, the Saudis pay his business hundreds of millions of dollars. Against military and bipartisan objections, Trump shamed America by withdrawing troops from Syria, which gave Turkish President Erdogan what he always wanted, a chance to annihilate his Kurdish enemies. Surprise! Trump was paid $10 million for his name on Trump Towers in Istanbul and a $400 million investment in them by a Turkish family. Russian oligarchs bought many apartments in Trump Tower and $100 million worth of Trump properties in Florida. When sales dropped after the U.S. imposed sanctions on Russian oligarchs, Trump advocated lifting them to restore the oligarchs' purchases. The profits would flow through a trust with Trump as sole beneficiary. These transgressions mock the integrity of all past presidents, show contempt for our laws and the Constitution, and shame America as a weak and pathetic country. What Republican values does this man have? And next time, nobody will be there to stop him, only enablers. Corruption uproots good policy. Vladimir Putin stole $2 billion through a network of secret offshore companies and fictitious tax scams. Leave it to Trump to try and outdo him. Putin's had his accusers poisoned or shot. None of us know how far Trump would go, but he's already shocked us beyond reality. Hundreds of millions of dollars from unidentified sources funded Trump's unprofitable golf courses in Ireland and Scotland. Trump loyalist Steve Bannon told the press, "This is about money laundering. The path to Trump goes through Paul Manafort, Don Jr., and Jared Kushner." He's tried to lift Russian sanctions for years. Next time, he will. He'll also lift U.S. sanctions on countries that support Russia's military and bans on exports of technology that aid Russian cyber wars, and our bans on Russian imports, including oil and gas, all for Vladimir Putin. Trump has a long history of depending on Russian money. Trump Jr. said, "Russians make up a disproportionate cross-section of our assets, and we see a lot of money pouring in from Russia." Eric Trump told a journalist, "We don't rely on American banks. We have all the funding we need out of Russia."
All fake news. Mr. Reagan's been possessed by a democratic demon. Let's all leave before he casts a spell.
Your exit was predictable. Russians offered Trump political campaign synergy and suggested that a meeting with Putin would also have phenomenal impact for Trump's business. Even though you deny it, you know he facilitated Russian meddling in our presidential elections. Indeed, his campaign and transition team had at least 272 known contacts and at least 38 known meetings with Russian operatives. More concerning is that Trump will be Putin's puppet in the White House. As I warned you, he'd probably withdraw from NATO, let Russia win in Ukraine, and give Putin a pass when he invades NATO members. He's always had business aspirations in Russia that Putin can make or break, and he'd have more to offer Putin as president. He's already announced building a luxury hotel and an international complex in Moscow, touted plans for condos and hotels in Moscow, St. Petersburg, and Sochi, and promoted a Trump Tower in Kazakhstan. Even during his campaign for the Republican nomination, he signed a letter of intent to build Trump Tower in Moscow. Don't you dare say it's all bluster and Trump won't commit these atrocities. These aren't political promises that presidents often break. These are obsessions and uncontrollable compulsions which he can't control. He'll surround himself with enablers and carry them out. If you continue to support Donald Trump, you'll be responsible for what befalls our country and the dismantling of a democracy that has made America the most prosperous, freest, and most respected world leader. You would shatter the world's respect and trust in America, and our relationships with our allies, friends, and partners that have taken centuries to build. But with your help, it will take one administration to destroy.